Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so a quick rundown today, but it is a good one for sure. We've got development updates across three major aircraft in the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. Starting things off, we have the BlueBird simulations stuff, so they've just resurfaced with fresh previews of their 757, and they're finally gearing up for beta, which is very exciting. Fenix have also just dropped BFU Patch 2 for their A320 with a full auto thrust rework and much more, which we're also going to be discussing in today's video. And finally, TFDi's MD11 is also going through a visual and systems refresh, plus some pretty big moves on the Xbox and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 side of things as well to discuss. Now here's something you don't want to miss. Tobii Gaming has just turned 24 years old and is offering 20% off their Tobii Eye Tracker 5 until September the 11th. They're also running a sweepstake campaign during this time where you could be winning a host of prizes every single day. If you're not familiar with the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, well, it's an incredible piece of gear that I personally use for every flight here on FlyBy Simulations. It's an eye and head tracking device that offers the immersion of VR without needing a full VR headset. With 6 degrees of freedom, it tracks your head and eye movements across all spatial dimensions, letting you look around the cockpit or even out of the window just by moving pretty much naturally. And don't worry, it works flawlessly even if you're wearing glasses, using a curved monitor, or flying in low light conditions. So if you've ever wanted to elevate your simming experience and pick this product up, now's the perfect time to check it out. So don't forget, 20% off until September the 11th, plus a chance to win so many prizes for free in their sweepstake. The links and details are in the description section down below. Now let's get back to the video. So then, let's talk about BlueBird simulations. They've been quiet for a while now after that YouTube trailer drop, but they finally broke the silence with a Facebook post that covers where things stand as we speak. Here's the headline. The 757 is almost ready for beta, according to the devs, and they're planning just 2 more video updates before the actual release of the product. One for the systems, which drops later this year, and that has been confirmed, and another which is focused on the EFB. That second one doesn't really have a timeline yet, but the systems showcase is expected in Q4 of this year. I don't expect the EFB update to take too much anyway, so I'm assuming after the systems update, the release of the aircraft should be pretty soon after. I don't really know. I'm happy to speculate just as much as the next guy, but until they tell us, we're really not going to know. Under the hood, LNAV and VNAV are sitting at about 70% complete, and they're already testing circuit breakers with 153 currently functional. The final target for this is over 200 circuit breakers, and it's pretty granular stuff for a first release, I must say. Now, the big thing holding them back was pneumatics, or the pneumatic system on the 757. It took a little longer than expected, but they are saying that it was worth the effort, and they're now actively working on systems for beta stage 2, like the doors and the landing gear and the oxygen and so on. All of this is running in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but BlueBird's release plan is still Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 first, which is an important note. It is also important to note that 2024 support is available at launch. It's just not native support, it's just a compatibility support kind of thing. Now here's where things get slightly divisive. Pricing is confirmed at $80 US, which gets you both the 757-200 and the 300 with both the Pratt & Whitney and Rolls-Royce engines included as well. For a full package, narrow body, long hauler, it's not outrageous. I won't say it is, especially in today's day and age, but it does raise the bar for expectations for sure, especially from a developer that's been pretty quiet in recent months. That said, if you have been waiting for a proper 757 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the finish line is finally in sight, in my opinion. Over on the Airbus side, Fenix has dropped BFU Patch 2 for their A320 as well, and the big story here is a complete rewrite of the auto thrust system. Before this update, auto thrust kind of did the job, according to Amir, the lead developer at Fenix, but it was kind of robotic. It essentially hammered in thrust, responded late to some speed drops, and lacked that subtle, predictive behavior that real Airbus systems have. Now, they've basically rebuilt all of this from the ground up, being Fenix. The new logic introduces tolerances, smoother adjustments, and soft cruise behavior that actually trades off altitude and speed to keep thrust relatively consistent, more like what you'd feel in a real cabin. So basically, don't panic if you're a few knots off target. That's intentional now. It's supposed to mimic how the real A320 actually behaves. They've also continued refining the roll channel with new damping logic, better snap response, and tuning that's actually been informed by proper level D simulators and type-rated pilot feedback. So even though it might feel a little weird, it's actually mimicking real Airbus logic. And speaking of the level D sims, if you do notice things feeling different when hand flying the aircraft, you're definitely not imagining it. Fenix actually tested across 3 different level D simulators and found each one behaved differently, which is basically a fun reminder that even real-world training tools aren't gospel. What you've now got is a sort of synthesis of all of that feedback coming together into one simulation package in the Fenix A320. Meanwhile, Dave from Fenix has also been cleaning up some CFM56 sound quirks. He's also added improved wind noise for the flight deck and cabin, and the display rendering system's been optimized for performance as well. I didn't really know it needed much more optimization considering the last update did improve FPS quite a bit, but I guess I'll take free FPS any day of the week. And for the folks in China or the Netherlands, you can actually now buy the thing with Alipay, WeChat, and Ideal, so no more third-party walkarounds just to buy the Fenix A320. These payment methods are now directly available through their website. Now, side note, if this kind of update coverage is helpful for you, drop a like and maybe even subscribe. It is free, unlike the Fenix, which for all the good that it does, still costs actual money. I'm just putting it out there. And then finally, we've got TFDi Design, who just put out a pretty hefty development update on the MD11, covering both the visuals and the systems. And yeah, I have to say there's some legit progress here. First up, the exterior model is getting completely rebuilt. That includes the likes of improved flap and slat mechanics, surface dirt, rivets, service hatches, and even openable cockpit windows. Cabin's also getting the same treatment. There's new textures, there's added effects, and a better sense of immersion as well. No screenshots yet, but they are promising a lot of refinements across the board. Systems-wise, the big ticket update here is the extended simulation package, which now has over 160 failure scenarios. You'll be able to track each airframe's maintenance history, perform inspections, replace fire bottles, and even log wear and tear across flights. That persistence, what I spoke about in our previous video on the A340, is something that I do like quite a bit. Now, the maintenance panel I just mentioned isn't also just cosmetic. It's meant to simulate life between flights, not just on the same flight itself. And before anyone asks, yes, this is being actively developed for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 as we speak, as well as Xbox. So it's not just going to be a port. This FS 2024 build will use native texture streaming and platform-specific assets to make the entire experience feel native and compatible. Both versions are set to release simultaneously, so those of you on Xbox don't have to wait after the MSFS 2024 version is done releasing. As for pricing, the update will be free for collector's edition owners of the MD11 only. It's going to be a $5 upgrade fee for everybody else who has the MD11 on FS 2020 and wants to upgrade to FS 2024. There's been some confusion around that, but it's all confirmed now from the developers themselves. Now, when looking through some community feedback on comment sections and articles and so on, it's generally positive. Most people do agree that the MD11 wasn't quite there at launch, but it is maturing nicely with these updates. And hey, if you've already been flying it and enjoying it, more power to you, I guess. So, ladies and gentlemen, 3 very different updates, 3 aircraft at different stages of maturity, I should say. The 757 is finally stepping out of the hangar, the A320 gets a more human auto thrust system, and the MD11 is actually evolving into something a lot more complete with Xbox and FS 2024 compatibility to boot. Let me know in the comments which of these are you most excited for. Are you just going to be holding out for the 757? Are you happy with where Fenix is going? Who isn't happy with where Fenix is going? It's fantastic. I just hope they start putting their effort into maybe an A330 or something like that. That would be quite cool. And maybe some of you guys are just glad the MD11 is finally shaping up into a proper long hauler. That aircraft definitely has some good cult following. I've got lots more videos just like this coming very soon, probably a utility and tools roundup next. So if you want to catch that, hit the bell. Apparently that helps or something with the algorithm, I've been told. So anything positive you guys can do with this video, I would really truly appreciate it. As usual, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for flying by.